Alright, I am back with part 2 of my loot run series that I just started. So right now we're going to be doing shoreline. Shoreline, like I mentioned in my previous video, is by far more profitable than Lighthouse. The only problem is it's a lot more dangerous, and on top of that it costs a lot more. So I wouldn't really recommend doing this until you guys have a little bit of a capital. Go run Lighthouse for a little bit, get familiar with that map, build up some money, enough for at least a decent kit. So I'll go over my kit in a different video. A lot of this stuff, like this slot plate, you're not going to be able to get. These NVGs you're not going to be able to get until Peacekeeper Loyalty level 3. Same thing with this Blackjack bag, you're not going to be able to get that until Ragman Loyalty level 4, but I'll give you a rough layout of like my M4 here, for example, because it has 88 ergo, 61 recoil. So very high ergo, very low recoil. And I'll kind of give you some budget builds too, but that will be in a later video. Right now though, let's focus on shoreline. So here are going to be some of the keys that you're going to need. Let me put away these unnecessary ones that aren't going to be used for shoreline. So these are the keys that I run. This is how I lay my keys out so that way it's easier. I'll do west wing, east wing, and then escalating numbers. So you got 205, which is going for pretty cheap right now, 125k. You got 216 for 120. A lot of these are probably going to be at between 100 and 500k. You can see that one's 400, but these are the keys that I would get if you guys have the ability to. Probably going to be a couple mil for all these keys, but it's well worth it, trust me. Make sure you bring food and water, always with any rate. I would recommend bringing grenades, and then if you can, get an osprey protection. The reason why is because you can put a serve kit and a grizzly in here. I only run grizzlies, especially in PvE. It just makes sense. If my buddy needs, I can drop it for him, you know, in a Saylock. So we'll get into shoreline. This is definitely a map that you want to make sure you are running at night. So we've got kind of a shit time here, but we'll make it work. So spawn really doesn't matter too much on here. You're just going to do one of two things first, and I'll show you what I mean by that when we get in raid, but there's going to be two locations that you're going to be looting. You're going to be looting main health resort. Should be pretty obvious by all the keys and stuff. And then you're also going to be looting, I just call it tech camp. I don't know the proper name for it, but it'll be by one of the UAV crash sites that you'll need for the Eagle Eye quest. So if you guys have done the Eagle Eye quest, you'll kind of know where I'm talking about. It's the one that's not in the field by the hay bales, but it's going to be the one adjacent to that up by Road to Customs. And I'll also show you guys where you want to exfil, depending on your spawn location. So you can kind of choose to do one of two things when you go to exfil. You're able to go to pier if it's there, which there is loot down at pier, but more than likely by the time you get down there you're going to be over encumbered, and it's going to take 20 to 30 minutes. So this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. If you guys need to skip around to kind of get to some of the key points, do so, because some of it's going to be running for the newer people that don't know how to get there. If you guys are familiar, skip around to where I start looting. I won't have timestamps up because I'm still trying to figure out the whole YouTube thing, but we'll get it worked out. So looks like we got Scav Village spawn. Over here is going to be landmines. Down here's tunnel. So we actually got the preferable spawn side for this. You're going to have either, this is a west side spawn over by tunnel. Your east side is going to be over by Road to Customs. This is preferable because running the two places that I do loot, and I'm going to show you in this guide, tech camp's going to weigh you down a lot. You're going to get real heavy. So it's nice being able to do that on the tail end. This is definitely a map that I would recommend bringing mules and SJs in. I don't have one. I think I have an SJ, but I don't have a mule. But exfil if you spawn on this side, you're gonna take vehicle exfil. So make sure you always have rubles in your secure container, whether or not you have a docs case, or a sick pouch, or you don't. Make sure that you have rubles, because this vehicle exfil, to my knowledge, is up every single time. And it just makes it so much easier instead of having to run to customs. And yes, I'm not running a suppressor on here because, a little pro tip, it doesn't matter in PvE at all. At least not that I know of, and it destroys your ergonomics. So it's really not worth running suppressors. I've kind of messed around with it, and the little bit of recoil boost that it does give you most of the time can either be negated by a different compensator, or like in the case of the AK-12, I run it, but that's because there's no other option. So if there's no other option, run a suppressor. If not, then, or if there is another option, don't run a suppressor. So this is going to be the west side that we're going to be going up to Health Resort first. This gas station down here, I don't think that any scavs spawn there. SP Tarkov had a really bad issue where those scavs are basically superhumans. I don't believe that's the case for official PvE. When you get up here, be very careful because Sanitar can spawn here. There's also a lot of PMCs that like to run around here, so that's why I said come in with a good kit. Even if it's a budget kit, play it slow. There's no need to rush it. You can already see a laser right there. So generally what I like to try and do before I rush in, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to hop up there, is kind of scout from outside first. See if you can figure out where, like, this laser, it's not a very common thing, but sometimes you'll get lucky in a lot of lasers like that. Okay, so we're fighting right now. Could potentially be Sanitar. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Sanitar. Yep, that's Sanitar. Out of ammo. Never mind, that was not Sanitar. That was just a stack of PMCs. So, again, just like the last video, this is a perfect example. Most of the time you're not going to run into groups like this, but it just goes to show kind of what you need to look out for, because you can get in some pretty rough situations here. You know, that was, I believe, at least 3 PMCs, potentially Sanitar. That's shooting off in the distance. That, I think, is the goons. Or no, those are mortars. I think we're going to. So, sorry if you guys can't hear me very well. The fuck? First time I've seen PMC running nods. Alright. Now let's get to the video that I was originally intending to make. So your first stop's always going to be second floor. So what I always do is I'll just check. So we got 205, 216, 218, 219. Oh, fuck me. That was a horrible nade. Well, we got a PMC fast this raid, so that's cool. Kind of annoying, but so the problem with having PMCs like this really does fuck with your time. It's going to make you run pretty low on time. Come in this first room, which is 205. I have seen LEDXs spawn in here, so it's a very good, I wouldn't say very good, but it is a possibility. There's moonshine already. There's my last vitamins I need, so there's already 500k. And you guys can see the importance of why bringing in a lot of ammo is necessary to this raid. I'm pretty sure that I underprepared. They added airdrops in the PvE. I don't want to see where that goes. take a slight detour. Because I don't know if that's part of this event or not. And I'm curious if it's going to give special stuff. They did add airdrops PvE. Trying to see where that airdrop went. That was over this way. Yeah, we're not going over there yet. I need to go over there for a quest, but we'll wait till the mortars stop. So, this video took a turn. I'm going to have to try and figure out how to... Ooh, it's getting kind of close. Alright, let's go see if we can find out where that airdrop landed. Because I'm really curious about that now. For those of you that didn't know, airdrops were exclusive to red flares. Been a sniper scav or something. Anyways, yeah, airdrops were exclusive to red flares only. And it looks like they changed that with 15.2, which is kind of neat. I'm hoping that that was an airdrop and not just a like mortar package thingy. Nope, it's a normal supply drop. What the fuck? Okay. So what's the name of this quest? Special no. Into the Inferno. Let me into the Inferno. Shoreline. Oh, an active mortar strike area. Okay. Yeah, well, we're not going to do that this raid because I don't feel like dying. I don't know what this is. It... Fuck me. I'm dead. If I don't... If I don't die here, we're running after this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Run, motherfucker! Holy shit. Get me the fuck out of here. So, because I'm not good at editing, the beginning part of this video is still going to outline, like, I'm going to rename it, but it's going to be, it's going to be, the, the beginning is just basically going to stay in. Problem is I am chunky. And I still got to run all the way across the map. So we're going to eat and drink to drop a little bit of weight. And drop that. Um, so this is just going to be kind of general video about PvP and the mortar strikes. I will refilm this again here shortly and upload it for Shoreline. And we'll get that video out just so that way there's actually a guide up about this. The other ones I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on to make guides for other maps, honestly, because most other maps I don't go on for loot. The only other one would be Ground Zero and Labs. But if you don't really have all the key cards for Labs, then it's kind of hard to make a complete video. And I really don't feel like selling most of my stuff to get 100 mil worth of key cards right now. So Labs is probably going to be one of the last ones on this series. But right now we'll at least have Lighthouse out, which is going to be the big one, just because it's, you know, it's free. There's potential for millions, and it doesn't cost you a dime. Shoreline is going to be my next one because I have most of, if not all of the keys required for a really good loot run. It's not going to be, everything, but it'll be majority of the keys needed. And then after that, I'll kind of figure out what I want to do. I think for the earlier videos, this is what I'm going to do until I can kind of get editing and stuff down, just because most of these videos don't require any editing, just because they're supposed to be beginner friendly, and yes, they are long, but that's the whole point of them, is showing the exact routes and all of the locations. And then task guides, that's going to be a rough one because I'm so far in, but I might highlight kind of some strategies for different tasks. I can do a guide task just because Marathon's out now, so I can kind of show you guys how I run those maps. I also have my buddy that's going to be doing, he needs to do the guide still, so I might just wait until he has it, honestly, and we'll just pair up and go do it together. But for now, it's just mainly going to be these looting guides, and then stuff like quests for stuff that I do have, and then events like this. So I'll start doing guides for all the event quests. This isn't really going to be a guide, just because it's pretty self-explanatory. When you guys saw how I got that, into the Inferno is basically just be there when a mortar strike's going off, which is not ideal, but I will show you guys how to get to vehicle extract from here, though. So if you come off of East Wing, you're going to go towards Tech Camp, and before you get to Tech Camp, if you go up to the left, there is going to be a vehicle extract. If that's not up, which it should be, then we'll just take Road to Customs, which isn't too far, and it's pretty easy to get there as well. I think what I'm going to do is just list these as full raids, just to kind of make it easy. People that want to see how I kind of run my raids and kind of how I play can just watch these videos. Oof, fucking dude is so chunky right now. So this is Tech Camp right here. And you got that building, and then there's like a little, not really garage area, but kind of, in the back part. You can get fuel and stuff like that there. There's a UAV for Eagle Eye, and then where we're going is going to be up here. That gate right there is where we're going. And this is why I say bring a mule, because of this right here. I didn't even know that these things were in the game, but they're for a quest, I would imagine, and I don't know how many I'm going to need, but I have 4 of them. So, yeah, like I said, don't know what they're used for. I assume a quest, since I don't believe that they added anything hideout-wise. Maybe a barter unlocked through the quest for mortar strike stuff. I don't know. Or maybe you need these to craft mortar strike things and you can only have so many. I don't know. But we have them now. So it looks like airdrops are not in here. There is an airdrop, but it's not a gear airdrop. It's going to be a specified item airdrop, which is fine. So this is vehicle expo up here. There are loose loot items here as well as a toolbox, and I think there's a couple jackets that can spawn here. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll go check. I haven't really gotten much from here, but I've gotten some fuel and some bolts and stuff. So yeah, you can see the car right there. I'll show you how I get over there. I think there's a different way, but I'll show you guys the way that I go. So one of my biggest recommendations is ES lamps. Those are always good. Is if you get towards the end like this and you still have inventory space, pick everything up. You're at the end of the raid. You may as well get a little bit of extra. Yes, it's going to make you heavier. There are certain times where I wouldn't, like if you're running low on time or you have a lot of stuff that's really valuable and you just want to get out and you don't want to risk it at all, just go. But there shouldn't be any risk here. During the day, PMCs might be able to shoot you from tech camp, but that one I can't say 100% because I usually run night raids. Nothing, hand drill, Xeno, that's a shoes. So we're going to come up here, see sugar, it's over 100k right there. EWRs aren't really worth it. Measuring tapes, I don't know what those are going for, because a lot of this stuff fluctuates so much in price just based off of what people are doing for hideouts, that some stuff that may, like ES lamps used to be 200k, they're down to like under 100 now. Open in here, some more loose loot that can spawn. H2O, paid, power bank. Power banks are worth it. So to get over here, come down here, hit this fence. There's a spot over here that you can lay down and crawl underneath. And this is a really good way to get up your scab rep too, or your fence rep I should say, because like I said, I'm fairly certain that it's up 100% of the time. Don't quote me on it, but I'm fairly certain that it's up 100% of the time. So we just got a minute waiting. So I mean, I would say that was a pretty successful raid just because of these. Don't know what they're used for, but that's the only way that you can get them. So it's a successful raid. You can see we only got through one of these keys too, and we got a moonshine out of it. So there's over half a mil. But we'll get out of here, and then I'll go ahead and end this video. And like I said, I'll have the actual loot route up tonight. I don't know when, but it'll be sometime tonight, and I'll throw it in that playlist. So that way it's there if you guys want to bounce back and forth between maps, or if you need kind of a guide on map knowledge and where to go, they'll be there. But alrighty. So alright. There we go. We'll go ahead and check and see. So I got what's that, 5, 7, 8, 9 PMCs. So yeah, Resort can be kind of a cluster, and you can run into a lot of action there, but it's worth it. If you have all the keys, it's definitely worth going there. This is why I stressed having a good kit is because of that reason right there, because there are a lot of enemies here. So Sanitars, potential spawn, a lot of PMCs, scavs, there's a lot of scavs, but they're scavs, so it's not really that big of a deal. But PMCs and Sanitar are going to be your guys' biggest challenge. That's why I also stress night raids, because their AI is toned down a little bit to where they're not going to head eyes you from 200 meters away. So, yeah, I'll just list this as a normal episode, and I will go ahead and make that guide. So I appreciate it. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. Comment anything that I should work on, change. Give me some collective or corrective criticism, because this is kind of my first time doing this, and it's been 9 years since I uploaded something. So any criticism or advice is always welcome. So thank you guys again, and I'll catch you in the next one.